Hello and welcome to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. My name is Brooke Brigham and I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And it is Love is Blind Day. We are here to talk about Love is Blind Season 7, Episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Yes.
And this is my favorite part of Love is Blind.
Really?
Out of the pods, getting to know each other, go back home. It's the Mexico stuff. People are still kind of, it's a little honeymoonish. But then when they get back to the real world, and they see where they live, they meet their families, all that kind of stuff. This is where it starts getting really good.
This is the part of the season where I go, is no one faithful? Is no one trustworthy? Does anyone, all of the people that I loved at the beginning of this are garbage people. It's just like, it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. The optimist, the Pollyanna in me just wants everything to be perfect and great and be exactly what it is. But yeah, I mean, I can understand why these women now were so focused on, well, those are words, but can you really put it into action? Because it's like, oh yeah, they can't. Guess what? They can't put it into action. They cannot follow through. They can say the words, but they can't do it.
Yeah. Okay. So lots to discuss.
And also for anyone, Brooke knows nothing about what's going on with Tyler, and I'm going to tell her all of it because people get on TikTok, Brooke. I've been
on TikTok. Why am I not seeing these videos?
Well, you're not following my new person that I'm following now on TikTok. I got to find her name. It's hold on, what's her name? Oh, wait, sorry. Storytime with Ricky. Storytime with Ricky. Sorry, that I just played that a little bit of her. She has got all the tea. She's got everything. And then there's other accounts that are basically like, oh my God, I just saw on Storytime with Ricky. This happened. So she is the epicenter, I think, of everything.
Okay. I will start following her immediately.
Yes.
I need to know.
Yes. Okay. So where should we start?
Okay, well, we're going to go couple by couple.
Yes.
Talk about everything that happened in these 3 episodes. So who should we start with? Who would be an easy, or any of these people?
Is any? Easy? Okay, hold on.
I don't know, maybe Taylor and Garrett.
Yeah, they're probably the easiest. I mean, the other couple that had very little happening or going on was Tim and Alex, but that's just bubbling under the surface.
Yeah.
That's just, there's tension underneath there. So let's start with Happy. Start with Garrett and Taylor.
Okay. So, is this when they're still in Mexico?
Yeah, they start off in Mexico.
Glass blowing thing.
Yes. And that's the other thing about Mexico is, you know, it's also another level. Like, not only are they in this honeymoon place, but like you're in this place where you know, those villas are like $19,000 a night or something like that. Like, I read that, you know, that is a very luxurious hotel. You're not paying for anything.
Yeah, you're not stressing about, can we afford to go camel riding or
can we do camel riding and glass blowing? Right? Like all of those things. Right. So yeah, that's another element to it. But yeah, he loves fish.
Yeah, he's a big fisherman. We discover that's his passion.
Yes.
After physics.
But yeah, nothing happens with them in Mexico except for the glass.
Really, they're having these discussions where, you know, everything is just everyone's saying the right thing and everything's just going swimmingly. And but is this where I didn't realize, somehow I missed this in a later episode when they started talking about them moving to San Diego. When was that ever first brought up?
I think it was brought up
in Mexico.
I wasn't that familiar with it. I think maybe in the pods she might have mentioned something. I didn't realize that she was from San Diego originally. Like, that's where her family is, I guess, and that she would like to go back there. I don't know, for her career, can she really go back there for her career? There's not a lot happening.
Well, she said that she could stay in her job because I think she can do most of it remotely, but that she would have to go to Washington frequently for meetings or whatever.
But yeah, this San Diego thing is
which
big
deal.
What,
this messes with the premise of the show. Like the whole point of this show is you meet someone who already lives in your city. So then that way when you get out, you can just, that's not an issue. Like it's one person having to move or, it's not an issue. So that's a little cheating, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Not fair. Because it puts Garrett in a weird position because his family lives in Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is not far, I don't think, from D.C. His whole family lives there, and that's the only place he's really ever lived. And
except for college, I guess.
Yeah.
So
he talks about how he wants his children to be close to their grandparents and not just these people that they see a couple times a year. So I don't think that's going to go well in the in the coming episodes. That's going to be a big problem.
Yeah. Well, the first sort of big thing we see the two of them, getting into this new apartment that they have, and they're reviewing each other's social media. Obviously, nothing was shocking because nothing happened after that. But the main thing is, the first thing that they do is Taylor goes to Garrett's family's house and meets his parents. And I have to say, I'm they mentioned that Taylor has a master's from Johns Hopkins. These people are smart. They're going to make some smart goddamn kids. I mean, I was very impressed by that anyway. But and I guess we also learned that Taylor's family is very unsure about a lot of this. Dad does not want to be on camera. Taylor's dad does not want to be on camera, is willing to talk to Garrett and meet him, but he doesn't want to be on camera. And they're very skeptical about this, as Garrett's family is very skeptical and sort of like, what, we just met you, like, and you're going to be part of our family in 2 weeks. All right.
Garrett's mom was bawling by the end of, they walk in, they're kind of all gathered around the kitchen island and, they're talking. And as time goes on, she just starts tearing up and getting more emotional and tearing up. And then she's just full on crying, and it's like, it was kind of weird because no one really commented on it
as someone who has a boy myself, I can't tell you how many times I started bawling, like at the doctor's office or something, because I think really what she's talking about is she just she's a mom. She just wants her son to be happy. She just doesn't want to see him get hurt. She just like her biggest fear is he's going to move across the country and, it's going to be a disaster and he's going to get heartbroken. And I think, he obviously has to go through this himself and figure these things out. But I understand that, like, kind of not being able to, right? You're just so scared and worried that it's not going to work that I'll just start bawling.
Yeah, well, I just wanted someone to comfort her. I mean, she was just standing there.
Yeah, the dad doesn't, but they seem like his family seems very solid. They all seem very nice and solid. And yeah, I mean, she's there. She says all the right things. She's,
Yeah.
But again, so much of this is time. Like no one really knows. No one knows.
Yeah, they've known each other for 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah. So whose apartment do they go visit? Is that Taylor's?
That's Taylor's. The one that was kind of funky.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice apartment.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this kind of looks like a bachelor pad, kind of. It had a bachelor pad kind of feel to it.
Oh, see, I thought it was very, just the way it was decorated, that kind of like, Instagram look.
Maybe I'm getting hers mixed up with Tim.
Women. Oh, you're thinking about Alex, the pig pen that she lives.
Oh, no. Tim. I was thinking of Tim because I like Tim's place.
Oh, yeah. No, that was it was very bachelor pad.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting Taylor and getting these people
She had
mixed
a
up
cute, Instagram worthy apartment and, I don't even remember. And I think that this is where I have down moving to San Diego. So maybe this is where they started talking about it when they were at her house.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember the San Diego thing coming up before, but it's not something that's really been focused on. But what we see throughout these episodes is her just keep coming back to him, thanking him so much for being willing to go to San Diego, be willing to go to San Diego. And I kind of feel like well, what were you going to do, Taylor, if you met someone who wasn't willing to go to San Diego? Like, what then? Was that your big deal breaker? And shouldn't you have waited for Love is Blind San Diego then?
Yeah, again, the whole point of the show is it's all people from the same city. But okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's been planning this for a long time. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they're not. I don't know what else. Then at some point they have like a nice little dinner on a rooftop or something. I mean, there's like literally, I don't know what to say about these two. Like, something's got to be coming. Like, it can't be this smooth sailing.
No, I mean, Garrett's worried about her father and what happens if he doesn't give me his blessing. And, I think it's going to come down. I think their big stress is going to come down to whatever we see at that group next episode 10, whatever we see at that group event, because something happens there, or it's going to be that her parents are like, what are you doing?
There is a scene. There's a scene where they're having dinner with her mom.
Yeah.
And the mom is just like, no, like, how you don't even know each other.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Comment like that. Yeah. No, mom's not happy about it.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, of all the couples as of right now, this is the one I put most of my money on, but the ones I was going to put money on before these episodes, have fallen apart.
This is tricky. It's tricky editing.
Yes, it is. Okay. So that's those two. Where should we go now?
Okay, so do
you want to talk about Tim and Alex?
Sure.
Okay. So we pick up where they left off in Mexico, kind of, sort of. Like, the end of episode 6 was the slow pan to Tim's shell-shocked, oh my God, what have I just done face.
He was ready to leave Mexico, but he's staying.
Yes. And so they're back to their little banter back and forth.
It is tense, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And here's my other thing, too, where she's upset because he doesn't like to cuddle, but he is a hot sleeper. What is up with people I've never wanted to cuddle with someone all night long and like wrap my body around them. That's not comfortable. I don't know why all these people feel like that's what a good marriage or what good relationship is. I mean, the ability to cuddle, to be the big spoon.
Yeah. And the hot sleeping. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be hot.
I'm just like, but it's just so odd. Some of the things that people focus on, it's like, that's got nothing to do with anything.
Well, because I don't know. She's not the most mature person. I think she thinks that is a sign that he really loves and cares about her. And it's like, no, it's not. It's just a preference. Like, do you like to cuddle all night or you don't? And he doesn't. So quit making it a thing and that he has to do.
Yes. Well, but we do see a little bit of a different side of Alex, because I was surprised when I met Alex's family in the way in which they described her. As being like, she's the oldest of 3. She's very responsible, very caring for these 2 brothers, all of these things. And it's like, okay, why? This isn't what we're seeing. And it's definitely not what we see when we get to your apartment.
Yeah.
So,
so in Mexico, they go ATV riding. No, nothing really happens with that. Although, would you go ATV riding across that rickety bridge?
No. I think they were strapped in and they were like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
So of course,
scary. I would have had a panic attack, especially if you're driving and all of a sudden you have to drive on this bridge. I think I'd have a panic attack and like drive off the bridge.
I think I would just keep my hands there and just focus on getting forward and know that eventually I'll get to the other side and be okay. But yeah, I feel like you should tell people, like, this is coming up, before you sign this, sign up for this little ATV thing. I think it would be fun to do that on the beach and some other places, but
not on a suspension bridge that looked like it was, out of wood and, rope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That scared me.
But I mean,
okay. So they get back to Washington, D.C. I guess she hasn't told her family about this. Like she's not only he's meeting her family, but they're finding out for the first time, like why they're meeting this guy.
Yeah.
Right? And how they met and everything.
Kind of. I think she lied about the proposal part. I think she made it seem like this is part of the experiment. And then if we agree to move forward and meet each other, then we meet each other. And then I think she then says, and then we have the option to get married. I don't think that she said to her parents, he proposed to me. I took this ring, because she took the ring off. I took this ring. We're getting married. Now, Alex, they do have TVs. They will eventually figure this out. So I think you're better off telling them now.
Yeah.
And being honest about it now. But yeah, they had to go through this whole ruse of a thing. And then he reads the letter that he read to her in the pods. And then, there's all this big kind of like, oh my God, will the dad, will he, won't he? I mean, the dad is very sweet. He's just kind of like, he seemed to be like, if this is what my daughter wants, this is what she wants. Like,
yeah, because I don't think he fully understands what's happening. Like, I think he thinks that there was more they spent more time together, or that they're taking it slower than they are, or something. And also, I find it weird that, I don't know how many days later this is, but not that many days after he basically said, I was prepared to pack my bags and never see you again. Now he's asking for his, blessing. He's reading this letter. He said, like, all this. It's like, wow, you really got on and moved through that quickly about something we don't know what it was about, but it was obviously serious enough that he was just going to be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Don't you think something's weird here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like every day in this experiment feels like a week or 2 weeks. Like, I can imagine every day feels huge. So maybe within that time frame, it feels like it's a month later. I don't know. I think, maybe the producers might tell me I'm wrong, but I think there is a bit of pressure from the producers. And I think that there's this pressure of, okay, we're coming back. Okay, you need to meet Alex's family. Is Alex going to meet your family? I think it's almost like, you're on this, train, this runaway train. And once you get on, it's hard to get off. And so it's like, okay, now we're meeting family. Okay, well, I guess I should read the letter. Okay. And, let me keep moving forward.
Well, I really liked him, and I'm really scared for him because I hate Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, hate's a strong word, but she's like one of my least favorite people. I mean, okay, well, let's talk about their apartments.
Yes. So it was Tim's place. I thought Tim's place was really nice. I feel like it would be in a magazine for like, the up and coming successful man. It's definitely masculine for sure. I like that brown furniture. I have a brown couch. I like the brown leather, and it's got that very masculine but clean, and
he's got all these cool like artsy kind of pieces that he's collected from traveling, and interesting, the way it's all decorated and curated. Yeah, Tim has some style. Like he's and then they go to her house, and I've never seen anything like this, like, in my life.
I have. But I'm messy Tessie, and I found that messy. Like, even my places never look like that.
No.
I've never had that bad.
Oh God, no. And it was every room. It wasn't just the bedroom. She's saying, oh yeah, when I was packing, I didn't know, she's blaming it on having to pack and didn't know what to bring, whatever. There are clothes all over her bed, all over the bedroom floor, all over the closet floor. Heaps, not just a few things, heaps, piles of clothes.
Yeah.
Piles of clothes and shit and stuff on the couch. There's barely a place to even sit on the couch. The entire apartment is just piles of shit. There's no decoration. I mean, he must be going out of his mind. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's trying to be polite, but he's got to be just cringing. Like, you see how well he takes care of his space. And there's just no excuse for this. She knew he was coming over. She could have had, like, at least gone over there and tried to straighten it up.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we've seen this before on the show where they bring the person back and because they were leaving, the place is a bit messy or a little all over the place, but nothing like this.
No.
And come on, Alex, this is the 7th season. You knew that if you connected with someone, they were going to come back and see this place. Like, prepare for this. And the thing that drove me nuts is this. She had all of these bags by the side. And I'm like, okay, well, at least she's gone through some clothes. She's like, yeah, those clothes are clothes I'm going to give away and some I'm going to sell, but some I might keep. So I need to go through all of this. And I'm like, so you really have not organized any. Like, it looks like, you see those bags. You're like, good, we're moving in a good direction. No, it's not. She just took the pile and put it in a bag. So most likely this was far worse than what we saw. Like, I hate that when people put things in bags and they're like, well, I need to go through it and sort it. It's like, then don't put it in a bag.
In there, you're not going to miss it. Just get rid of it. If you don't. Yeah. And God. She's like a clothes hoarder. And that's another thing. Like, how much money must she spend on clothes?
Well, she's a fashion content person. But at the same time,
what does that mean?
I don't know. What I think is if she's does she post about clothes or fashion? Is she an influencer?
She has an Instagram page and she just...
Yeah, maybe we should look her up. I don't know. I started to look at some of these people's Instagrams and I wanted to bash my head against the wall. You're kind of like this.
Look into her more.
Oh my God.
There's no excuse though. If you are a fashion content, whatever person, I mean, you would think you'd be stylish, artistic, all that kind of stuff. That's not reflected in her living space.
No, not at all.
Your living space says a lot about you, I think. And this was just a disaster. Tim should have just left from there and been like, I'm out.
Honestly, someone I used to work with, she had an apartment like this. Like, her place was like this. Her room was like this. And she was a deeply mental illness, probably depressed, so many things that were never treated. And it always felt like the room represented a little bit of, you have this outward appearance where everyone sees and it looks like things are fine. But then when you go into, your home and your room, like, people can finally see, like, it's a mess because you're messy inside.
Yeah, I'm shocked that she let cameras in there.
Yeah.
Doesn't she know? Does she not realize how awful that looks?
Well, because I think she's a little bratty. I really do. I mean, I think that she's maybe been a little bit of a daddy's girl, and she doesn't think that that's a problem, or that Tim should be, or this is who I am. So aren't I cute?
Deal with it.
Like,
yeah. She thinks it's funny and cute.
Yeah. It's like, you're not 15, it's like, it's not so cute when you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know, but everything is just bubbling under the surface with those two. Everything is bubbling. But in the scenes that we see, did we see anything? I don't remember seeing anything. Oh, we did? Okay.
The scene from the next episode or whatever, his parents come to meet her. And then he's saying to her, my parents drove 10 hours to meet you, and you just went in and took a nap. So yeah. So there's a fight next time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Tim is really trying, but I don't think he's going to be able to.
Yeah, there's no way Tim's saying yes. Even if they make it all the way to the altar, he is not saying yes. No. There's no way.
No.
Anyway, okay, let's move on to, so where should we go? Because things are going to start to get a little complicated.
Getting heated
with some of these people.
Should we talk about Hannah and Nick?
Okay.
Yes. So in Mexico, their activity is bungee jumping. And I'll ask you again, would you ever do that?
No. I'm going to tell you that right now. No. I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even do it in my 20s. I would rather skydive than do that, because to me, I'd rather free fall with a pack and another person than jump over something and just have a little thing on my ankle. On my ankle. And with a bungee rope.
Yeah, and you get snapped around like a rag doll, that looked like painful,
Yeah. Yeah. And also we're in a foreign country too. Like, I don't want to get injured.
Also, we don't know what their inspection, the level of inspections that they do on these.
Yeah. Let me see when's the last time you checked this bridge? The suspension on this bridge here that we're going over.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. So no, that didn't look fun.
No.
Okay. So then when they get back to, Washington, and immediately she just starts in with, like just criticizing him and and then telling him that she needs him to do all these chores without her asking, and he's just kind of like, okay, and literally, and then I know the other stuff happened, but this is the one thing that I like just stuck in my mind is how she starts telling him about, she's a clean freak.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but can I just say, did it bother you how many paper towels she was using?
Yes. And I thought I used a lot of paper towels because I love paper towels.
Yeah, but it's like I can, with my son, I'm always like, Jesus Christ, like paper towels, especially during the pandemic. Like you get one square
supply.
Keep going. Sorry.
Well, so she's telling him how her cleaning schedule, and she's talking about how once a week she does this deep clean where she cleans her baseboards and cleans the walls. I'm not sure if I've ever cleaned my baseboards ever. I mean, maybe the house cleaner has, but I'm like, wow. And then
that's a lot.
Yeah. And then she's telling him all the stuff that he's going to have to do. And literally, I think she had like a whiteboard in front of her when they were sitting at a little table in the kitchen, and she had a whiteboard on the table. I thought she was going to give him a chore chart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She has a chore chart for him.
Well, yeah. I mean, this whole thing, it started off like, because we see him, he goes to his house. He shows her his house, which is he's living with his parents.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, but first he shows her the house when his parents aren't there.
Right.
And then we see them back at the apartment. Now, my thing was that he comes home from work and he's wearing these skinny jeans that all these men wear, but he's wearing like a white shirt, and he changes out of that dress shirt to put on another dress shirt. That was really weird. I was like, are you going to keep working? But anyway, but he's very lost. You very, very quickly we learn that she is, and we hear this many times, that she's been on her own since she's 18. So she's very independent and very clean and very on all of her stuff. And this guy knows nothing. Very little.
Well, okay. What happened? Did I miss something? I thought she said that she has basically been on her own since she was 15, but then financially cut off at 18.
She said she started working at 15.
Okay.
And that kind of, when we meet her family, you're a little bit like,
yeah, why was she cut off?
I don't know.
She went to college. She's talking about how she's more mature than him, which is true.
Yeah.
Probably. But I don't know why she's rubbing this in his face, and she's expecting him to have the same life experience. And yeah, because he has never lived on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He went to college, and then he tried to pursue, this football career. I guess he played in the XFL or whatever it's called. Canadian football.
Yeah. Or maybe played overseas.
Yeah. And so he's only 28. He's only 2 years older than her. And then he just moved home. He's been living at home for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
my guess would be he's been focused on real estate, like trying to get that rolling. And he hasn't been thinking about, like getting an apartment or doing.
Maybe he can't afford to. Obviously, probably can't afford to move out. And then she's going down this laundry list with him of, okay, well, who's going to pay for this? Who's going to pay for that? Okay, you're going to pay for half the rent. You're going to pay for that. And then she's like, well, your parents are paying your car insurance. Are they going to continue to pay your car insurance? Are they going to continue to pay your cell phone bill? Who's going to pay that? I mean, she's just like just ticking off all this stuff. And he just has this look on his face like, what's happening? And it was a lot. Like, it was super intense.
Yeah.
What she was doing to him. And I was just thinking, God, if I were him, I'd be like, oh my God, like, what's happening? I can't.
Yeah. Well, what she did that really bugs me is she did this thing where he walks through the door and she says to him, can you take out the trash? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah. He says yes. And he goes and he takes out the trash. And she's kind of like, and then she asks him to do something else. And he does it right away. And she then sits down with him and says, well, I would like for you to, just do these things. It's like, bitch, he just walked through the door. Right. Like, is he supposed to run into the house, grab the garbage right away and run out and put it away? It's like, he barely got to change his dress shirt to know another dress shirt. I mean, like, what? Yeah. How is going on here?
He doesn't even know if the garbage is full or not.
Yes, because he hasn't been home all day. Guess what? Because you're unemployed, honey. And I don't think, it's like he isn't. So what? But yeah, it's I wrote this down. It's like Hannah doesn't quite understand how the world sees her, right? Mm-hmm. There's this whole thing about self-awareness. How self-aware are we? And is what we project out and how people take us in, is that accurate to how we see it? Mm-hmm. And she's one of these people, and maybe it's because she's young, she really has no idea what she's putting out there because she thinks that she is this uber funny, uber together, hip happening, like, strong, person. And it's like, well, no, you've had to do some things early because of your family, but you're very mean. She's really mean to him. Yeah. And you have no idea what it's like to really be in a relationship, because part of being in a relationship is like, oh no, the pasta's in the cupboard, go get it in the cupboard. And then he's trying to ask her about boiling water. Now, yes, 28, you would think he knows how to boil water, but did you see at one point, he's like asking her, do you want me to do half of it or 3/4? Or he's just asking. And it's a little bit like she just grabs the pot and starts filling it up. I'm like, I know people like this. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen is this. You're going to feel like you're the only one that can do things. So you'll do everything. And then you're resentful towards people for not doing those things. And then you start to get resentful because people are not reading your mind. And then what that becomes is you start to become a mega bitch. I have a client who's going through this, like really mean and speak rudely to your partner, which really then creates this aura of disrespect.
And she's already being so rude. She's like, well, I'm the type of person, it's my way or the highway. Yeah. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Good times.
Way to sell yourself, Hannah. And that's the self-awareness part. It's like, you're basically telling him that being married to you is going to be insufferable.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love all this. It's my way or the highway. It's like, then you know what? Be single and work for yourself. Yeah. Then go sit in a hovel somewhere, because if it's your way or the highway, then do not get married, do not have children, and do not work for other people. Because, you're
going to have to answer to somebody at some point, and you're going to have to compromise, eat a piece of shit pie, at some point. It's, she's
really passive aggressive.
But then she kind of, in the last episode, she changes a bit, or maybe she doesn't really change. But I want to talk about like Nick's house.
Yeah, hold on a second. So wait a minute. So Cade, who came over, I was a little confused. Is Cade? At first, I was like, "Is this her brother?" But then I was like, "No, we meet the brother." But
no, I think it is her brother.
So Cade's her brother.
One of the, she has
one of the brothers.
And then there's that younger brother.
The youngest one. Okay. I couldn't figure out if he was her roommate or brother or what the relationship was. But Cade has her number too.
Oh, yeah.
Because Cade, when she goes off to the bathroom, she's like, yeah, she can't take a joke. Like, she can't.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So they meet they meet Hannah's family first.
Oh, okay.
So, we meet PJ and Ryan.
But episode 8, that's the last... Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's just the order of my notes. But we can talk about Nick's family. That's fine.
Well, no, I'm not talking about I'm talking about when they go
his house by himself. Sorry, yes. Talking about the house, yes.
So they go to his house alone. His parents aren't there. Now, his childhood room, complete with like his name, like on the door, some little saying, and then his brother's room next door with another nameplate thing on there. It's completely intact.
Yes.
Like, it hasn't changed. since, it's got all his childhood stuff there, which I thought was a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, he is 28. I think if he was in his 40s, but yeah, it's a little odd.
I mean, my daughter is 21 and she literally has like nothing left in her room.
Mm-hmm.
She has like some clothes in the closet and a few knickknacks, but otherwise everything's out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think, because we're out here in California and, everything's really expensive, like people out here, I mean, depending on where you live, but in the Bay Area, people don't live in these 5-bedroom huge homes. But it's like with these people, when you have these giant houses, I think it's almost kind of like, well, I think they just become shrines. Like no one ever goes in there. They don't ever repurpose them. They don't, right?
Yeah.
It's just, and for
they
some
already
people,
have a guest room.
Yeah, they already have a guest room somewhere. They got the basement. I mean, I think it's kind of like, why bother?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, now he's living in the basement.
Yes.
Because it's a bigger space. But again, he's got his favorite stuffed animal down there, Buffy, a stuffed buffalo, I guess.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. And there's just something, there's some arrested development.
Yeah.
With him a little bit, but
yeah.
And then Hannah, of course, always criticizing. She says something like, "I wish you were handier."
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, Hannah.
Well, she's on him too because I think the way he described his basement and this his little pad as being kind of like this cool bachelor pad. I think he was trying to sell to people that he lives with his parents. Like I don't think he was trying to, but apparently the pool table is actually in this other room down in the basement or maybe in the garage that's covered with stuff. So it's not exactly this roaming bachelor pad. This isn't he isn't present day has a pool table. It's like at some point there was a pool table, but and I can understand like these two people, like he is not good at reporting factual things. And she has really very little sense of how she's coming across. This is a problem.
Okay. So then we meet Hannah's parents, and from the minute they say hello, I feel Hannah and her mom have obvious tension.
Well, yeah. PJ is the one that locked the cabinets.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because mom looks good. Mom keeps it tight. So mom's got her own, I bet you anything, mom's got her own food stuff for sure. Yeah. So, but she's locking the cabinets. So these people, they seem like you're all American, like blonde, happy family. But why does she have to be independent at 18? I mean, I understand everyone's different. Everyone has their thing, but it just seems like, okay, all right.
Yeah, and she did say she's been on her own since she was 15 and cut off at 18. That's exactly her words. So on her own since 15, like, what does that mean?
Does that mean she had a job and she had to she didn't get an allowance and she had to pay for everything
and buy her all her own clothes?
Yeah. And listen, whatever. I know those people. I've known those people over the years, right? We find out Marissa didn't have a lot growing up. And those families where it's like, if you want something, you have to do it. But I don't get the sense that these people had the same situation that Marissa's family did. It's a little bit like, what's happening here? You have it, but you are going to just make her work, at 15? Yeah.
There's a whole backstory.
Yeah, there's so much more to this.
I hope we get to know, but I don't know. I mean,
but they tell her to be nicer. He goes out to the car and they're like, yeah, be nicer, relax, let go.
I'm sure they've been telling her that for years. And she's just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I don't know. She's got a bit of a chip on her shoulder about that.
Yeah.
About all of this.
She's a nag. She nags. This isn't going to last if she doesn't really change.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's got some stuff to do. He's got some maturing to do. He's got some work to do. But the sense that I get with him is he's willing to do it. He's like, just tell me how much water to put in this pot. Yes. Should a 20-year-old know how to boil water? Probably. But this is what you're working with, Hannah. So you have a choice. You can either tell him what to do, or you can be an asshole to him. Like, that's your choice. But So let's talk about Nick's parents. Nick Sr.
Yes.
And Lillian. And Lillian's Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never heard him mention that before. I didn't know that. But, his parents are really into pineapples. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Well, Hannah came, she has manners. She came and brought, gifts and flowers. And here's the thing. When she met his parents and the whole time she was over there, she was very, very sweet.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, who's this person? Because normally, she's putting Nick down. She's nagging him. She's nitpicking. Even when like her brother came over, she wasn't even trying to, change at all. But now she's with his parents, so she's got to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Is that real? Is that just she was so nice to them? And Nick's mom was just like, oh my God, I love her so much. She's just wonderful. And it's like, well, you don't really know her.
You haven't watched the dailies, lady. I mean, and that's the thing. When she was talking to Lillian, I mean, Lillian admits, like, yeah, I probably spoiled my kids. I probably did a lot more for them. It sounds like he has a brother. And she said it was all about sports. And, for us, it was about prioritizing being at the sports, being present and being present for them. And she said that's what was important. And, and I can also imagine too, I mean, the other thing with Nick is in some ways, even though he's 28, it's like, you could, he had this dream. He obviously had. So it's almost a little bit like he's only 2 years into true adulthood. I think that he has been in this kind of funky spot for a long time. And so, he's just now like a 24-year-old trying to build his life, not 28. So anywho, but I mean, they seem lovely people. They seem very nice, very kind. They kept talking about how different he is. Like, we've never met anyone before. He seems to be smitten with you. Isn't this wonderful? Isn't this great? I mean, of all the families, they were the most like, hey, let's do it.
Right. And also, I think Nick is a nice person. I mean, he, when he was in the pods, he was trying to be like smooth and what, but that's, of course, everybody is. Everyone's trying to like, get people to like them and whatever. But honestly, he's just kind of a regular guy. You know, he's not douchey, even though he came off douchey and sometimes in the pods, that's not who he is. He's just a nice guy.
I think he came across that way because I think he felt a lot of insecurity about being 28 and living at home and just starting this career. And he's meeting all these women that are far more established. And I think that he thought, okay, I have to show them something. I have to be this. And then he quickly realized like, okay, no, I just need to be myself. And that's when we saw him. So I don't know, Nick, run. You and Tim should just run.
God. Help them, save them.
Yes. So we have Monica and Steven, or you want to go to Ramses?
Okay, let's talk about Ramses and Marissa.
Yeah, there was a lot of different stuff all over the place with this. These two keep having political discussions and religious discussions, and Jesus Christ.
Well, it feels to me like, I don't know what they talked about in the pods, but I don't know how substantive, if they talked about anything more than like astrology and, because now it seems like for the first time they're kind of understanding more about each other. But and this was interesting. So going back to Mexico, they go out on this boat ride around the the little bay harbor there. We've been there.
In Cabo?
Yeah. Layla and I, we kayaked out there.
Ooh.
That rock formation. I don't know what it's called. There's a name for it, but that rock formation where they took the boat out to, and it's like, there's people kayaking out there. And then there's all these boats just randomly, like big boats, like the one that they were on, where there's no regulations. Like the boats are just out there tooling around. And so they create all these waves, and we're just in this little kayak. And every time a boat would go by, the water would like rise, like all of a sudden there's these waves. And then the whole time I was like, oh my God, I'm going to tip over. But we never tipped over.
Wow, dangerous.
Yes.
Look at you, Brooke, doing dangerous things in Mexico, just like these Love is Blind people.
It was, I was out there on the water. I was on some big boat. I was there. Yeah. And then we paddled out. We so we were in the kayak so we could go through the rocks and everything. It was fun. It was, but we were laughing. Like every time a boat would go by, it's like, oh God, hold on. We don't capsize.
Were you guys in separate kayaks or did you share a kayak?
No, we were in the same kayak. Yeah. Okay. And I think she was in the front because, she's the more, not responsible. It's not the right word. Like I was kind of scared of the whole thing. And she's like, oh God, come on. She's like leading the way. I'm just hanging on. But anyway, so yeah, they're out on this boat and there's all this, they're both like looking all, hot and they're like this cool couple. And then I feel like when we get back to Washington, D.C., we see a completely different Marissa. We get back to D.C. and now it's not vacation Marissa. It's like corporate Marissa.
Yeah, she straightened her hair.
She's wearing conservative clothing.
Well, she's a law clerk, so yeah.
Very nondescript, kind of conservative. Well, so I think she's still in school at this point because she's talking about driving back and forth. Like she goes to school in Baltimore.
Well, I think she lives, this is the sense I get. So I believe she lives in Baltimore and she can't. So it says she's a law. So even if she's in, I don't know if she's in school or in school and a law clerk or what it is, but whatever it is, wherever she has to go every day is in Baltimore. But these apartments, I guess, are in DC. So that's what she was saying about 2 hours. So apparently because when she got home, she had been in traffic for 2 hours. And so I think that as part of the quote unquote experiment, they have to stay in this one apartment complex. But and then Ramses said, oh, I think, that's terrible. I'll probably need to move to Baltimore.
Okay. Psych Legal Pop will be right back after these messages. Well, anyway, she's completely different.
Yeah.
To me. And for the first time, we actually hear her talking about substantive things. Because before they were just always talking about sex and how great their sex was and how compatible they were or talking about, I don't remember them talking about much substantively in Mexico or in the pods or anything.
Well, and it wasn't like, this military thing had to have come up. It did in the pods. And so I don't know if the way in which she sort of spun it to him in the pods was, I used to be in the military, but now I'm very anti-military and I don't believe it anymore. Or if that's maybe what Ramses wanted to hear, because it seems that I think she's at this also in this transitional point in her life where, like that was her world and that's what she thought her life was going to be. And then she sort of had this, I don't know, aha, maybe she seemed like the Barbie movie had a lot of influence. So, she sees this movie or she has this aha and she decides to like, maybe I don't want to be in the military. Maybe this isn't my career, but he wants her to basically kind of like denounce it.
Be anti-military.
Be anti-military. And it's a little bit like, okay, Ramses, this is not, he wants everything to be so black and white. And I'm like, but these things aren't black and white, they aren't. The military, isn't black and white. And she kept going to this whole thing about supporting the troops. It's like, God, Ramses, you can't even support the troops.
No, he said that for him, it's a morality thing. As if you support the military in any way, that's immoral because of, imperialism. And he talks about how he stands with Palestine. We find out that he's from Venezuela or someone in his family, one of his parents is from Venezuela. And, he's talking about all the stuff that the United States does and it's like, okay, but
that's a lot of privilege.
To say that there's, that if you join the military, support the military, you're an immoral person. Come on. That's crazy. And then he said he would divorce her if she went back into the military.
Which is great. It's a little bit like, Ramses, do you not know how many people, right? And it sounds like Marissa's one of them. Like there are so, and Marissa's trying to explain to him, you're 18 years old. Like your brain hasn't fully
the
formed.
money too. When
yes.
they talked to her family, they grew up in poverty. It was probably a financial thing. Like she wanted to get an education. She needed some training, a job, whatever. She joined the military.
But a lot of people don't really have any other option to pay for college, or they don't have any other option. And there's a lot of people, because I've worked with these military people, there's a lot of people that come from horrendous homes where the military, it's like, it's the only place they can go to get far away from it all. And have the training, have a job, all of those things. So it's not so black and white.
Yeah, and also, Ramses, what do you think would happen if we didn't have a military? Yeah. You think we'd just be happily existing over here on our continent and we're just everything's fine? No.
In a perfect world, I would love that. That would be great. Can we get to that point? But I don't think we ever are. So this is where we're at.
We have to defend ourselves and we have to defend other people. Our military defends other countries. NATO, have you heard of that? I mean, this guy... Yeah, I mean, he really, like you said, he's the privilege from which he's saying all this kind of stuff is ridiculous.
And then he goes into this whole thing about how he was married once and he keeps claiming, well, I was young and he was 25. And it's like, so you can't see that maybe for Marissa, it was the same thing. You got married because you felt like that's what you were supposed to do. And that was your path. Marissa did the same thing. She thought that's what she was supposed to do. And that was her path. And it's like, listen, at least she got an education out of it and some training. And, I mean, what do you have to show for this marriage that you kind of know yourself better?
He thinks he's very superior.
He does.
Yeah. And then they also talk about all the stuff. Then they talk about religion. And she says that she was once Mormon.
Briefly.
Yeah. I mean, she kind of glossed right over it.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know if she was raised in the Mormon church. Her mom doesn't.
The mom. Oh my God, this family.
From the Mormon church, but I don't know. And he grew up like in the church and he was in the ministry and this kind of fire and brimstone Christian upbringing. That's what he said. And now he's completely against all of that. So there's a lot with them. Just politics and religion not doing well.
Yes, two big ones.
And then there's more.
Yes, we meet.
There's more problems.
We meet Vanessa.
Vanessa is off the
chart.
Chain.
Oh my God! So what did you think of Vanessa? Vanessa, I kept going in circles with. I'm like, sometimes I liked her. Sometimes I was like, oh, God, you're being rough. And then other times I'm like, no, I think you're being truthful. Oh, whoa. And, Vanessa's everywhere.
Yeah. I was wondering, like, is this what Vanessa's like all the time? Like, is she laying it on thick? Is this?
No, I think this is who Vanessa is all the time. Because those kids
They didn't seem surprised.
No, those kids did not bat an eye.
So she has like 3 of her siblings there. I don't know if there's more siblings.
Well, I think there's 4 total.
Okay.
So there's 5 kids total, I think.
And they all have there's 3 different fathers.
I mean, that comes out I guess between these 4 kids that are there are 3 different fathers. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what. And then I think Vanessa obviously felt something, right? She made some comment about that when they pointed that out.
Yeah. Well, they all talk about growing up in poverty. Her mom makes this scrapbook for her of all these photos of her for growing up. And she said, when you were younger, I could never afford to buy these scrapbooks. And that's pretty
poor.
That's poor. But I love how Vanessa, she immediately brings up a prenup, if they're going to sign a prenup. And I'm thinking, Vanessa, these 2 are broke. They don't need a prenup. Okay. They're broke. So that's kind of really not the issue here.
But the thing is, what I think, I get the sense that what Vanessa's mom is sort of saying is, well, when she becomes a lawyer and she starts making all this money and, what's going to happen 10 years from now, are you going to take all of this money that she's worked so hard to earn? But it's a little bit like, yeah, but that's part of the marriage. I think if the roles were reversed, we'd look at this differently.
Yeah.
Like, that's the marriage. If she's an attorney and he's working and they're building this life together, and they're both putting money in the pot, and like, he's picking up the kids so she can be a lawyer, just like what women do. And we are okay with them getting money. Like, yeah, you're right.
Who's going to agree that, everything that we build together, whatever money, tangible assets come out of it, are going to be,
you're going to get all of them.
You're going to get everything. I'm not going to get anything tangible, even though I contributed to you being able to make all this money and acquire all these assets. I mean, that's not a marriage.
Yeah. But that's, I think, Vanessa, right? I think Vanessa, just she's very, in her own weird ways, young. Like, she has all these crazy things. I don't think marriage is forever. I don't think this. I don't think that. It's like, okay, that's what you believe. But it's just so weird. I think she thinks like, okay, well, you get him to sign a prenup. That will spare you from having hurt or pain or going through what I went through. It's like, Vanessa, no, I mean, it sounds like things were rough for you, but a prenup's not going to, a prenup is not going to fix a shitty marriage. And it's not going to, or marrying the wrong person, or having children with the wrong person.
It's not going to ensure anything. And prenups be, invalidated, not enforceable and that kind of thing. But yes, she does not like this guy. She doesn't like his hair. She doesn't like his fashion.
Everyone's like, oh, it's like 80s Jerry curl. El DeBarge.
Yeah, it is the El DeBarge look. You have to admit.
It is. It's a look. It's definitely a look.
It's definitely a look. And she says, if you hurt her, I'm going to cut your balls off. I mean, she's really,
But then, right, and she goes into this whole thing about, men have always fucked over my daughter, and, I'm going to cut your balls off. And then she's like, but Marissa, she's such a bitch. She does what she wants. She's bossy, and, she's tough, and we wouldn't get along. Like, so, okay, she's a bitch, but I love her. Get a prenup. I'm going to cut your balls off. El DeBarge. Like, she's just coming at it.
She's something else.
Ooh.
I want to know more about her. I want
to know Vanessa's life story.
I want to know everything about her.
Yeah. I don't think it was easy at all. And then the brothers don't talk at all. Just the one sister.
Yeah, the brothers are just like, oh God, like, why are we here?
Get our backs to be the camera, please.
They're so used to their mom. They're just kind of like, okay, here she goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then later that night, I guess, they start to have this discussion about their timeline for having kids. And he's saying he wants to wait like 4 years. She's saying more like 2 or maybe 3.
Yeah, because she's 32? She's 31? She's 31.
I don't remember exactly, but that sounds right. And because if you want to have multiple kids, then
she kind of has to start now.
Got to start now. And then this whole birth control topic comes up, which is really kind of fascinating, because obviously they have been, having a lot of sex, unprotected sex.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, this whole time.
This whole time. And they talk about how they can't just keep, doing these risky games. And she says she does not want to be on birth control. So I assume she's talking about birth control pills.
Or like, whatever, those things that they put in your
the
arm,
implants.
Or like, does the IUD, does the IUD screw up your hormones or no?
Well, there are hormones in the IUD, a little bit, I believe. But that was my question. It's like, okay, you don't want to take birth control. Does that mean just the birth control pill? Because there are other options, but I guess every form of birth control has got the hormones in it. The implants have the hormones. But then that only leaves you with the condom thing, which is not 100% effective. And also, he's not going to go for that.
Well, no, he's made that very clear.
Yeah.
He's not going for that. So
this is, he basically says he doesn't want it. And then she says something like, well, I guess if I get pregnant, okay, so it's sort of passive aggressive because like she wants to have kids sooner rather than later and he wants to wait. And she's basically telling him, well, if you're not going to wear a condom, then I guess if I get pregnant, I get pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's very weird.
Yeah. Yeah. But then if that's what he wants, he needs to wear a condom because the condoms don't bother her. They bother him.
True.
Yes.
True.
But yeah, you too. Woof. Boy, it was just, they just were doing it the whole time in Mexico. They didn't even bother talking to each other about anything.
Raw dogging it.
Yeah. All over the place. All over Mexico. They're like, oh, it's a reality. We're back now. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think these two are.
These two, I felt like had a good shot. That's why I was like the whole time, I'm like, there's no one. Okay, let's get to the two couples that I thought had a really good shot. And now, don't.
Okay.
It's very upsetting.
Who should we do first? Who's worse? Let's save the worst.
Tyler. I think Tyler's worse.
Oh, gosh. Okay,
it is
can't wait to find out why.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to Monica and Steven.
Yes.
Now, I have to say that, okay, before we found out about his indiscretion.
Yes. Are you talking about her attitude towards him during Mexico? I felt like was a lot.
Her attitude in Mexico and her attitude when they got back. Because, okay, basically they get back to Washington, D.C. and immediately, I mean, they just kind of moved into this place. And she's like, where are my flowers? Because I guess she told him, that she wanted flowers all the time.
Yes.
Okay. But they just got there. It's like, well, give him a minute,
But she asked, hold on. She asked about the flowers because they go flower, don't they? Oh no. Do they do the flower pressing in the States?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I feel like she was asking about the flowers and all of that stuff while they were still in Mexico. Like she was saying something to him about flowers while they were in Mexico. And I also was right. I wrote this down. I was like, we haven't even left Mexico yet. He hasn't had a chance to buy flowers. Like you're already preempting, what's happening. And then when they all gathered together and the fireworks started, Monica's like very passive aggressive with him of like, he's having this serious conversation with Garrett. Yes, of course, you would like to be with your partner down at the fireworks. But at the same time, people, if you're getting married, there's going to be another firework occasion.
It's not that big of a deal.
So yeah. So, and basically what he said to her was, okay, yeah, I'll meet you down there. I'm having a conversation with Garrett. Like Monica's smart enough to read that, but it's like, but she's pissed at him for not dropping Garrett and running off and watching that thing. But damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like if he was rude to Garrett, he'd be in trouble. And if he didn't go with her, he was in trouble. I already felt like, boy,
no, I agree. Yeah. And she's like, well, my love language is words of affirmation and acts of service, but gifts is number 3 and it's been 2 days. Okay.
Yeah. And this is the other part of it too. What the fuck? Flowers are nice. They die. You want a partner where if you say to them, which is who my husband is, like, it's 11 o'clock on a Sunday night. I have heartburn. Will you go to Target and get me antacids? Like, that's what you want.
Right.
That's what you want. Not someone who's going to bring you flowers.
Right. Yeah. Focus on what's important.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Give him a break.
Someone going to Target late night.
Yeah. Where's he going to go? He doesn't know where to go in Mexico to get, I guess he could like tell the producers.
But it's a little bit like, but you're already in this paradise. Like, what
Why
do you need flowers for?
You don't.
Ay, gavalt with that. Ay.
Yeah. I mean, and when she did that flower thing, like he looked very, kind of nervous and overwhelmed because she really seemed pissed. And that was, and I saw that and I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. Cause I think he may have sort of sabotaged this a bit.
Maybe.
I feel like he was getting nervous, like seeing how different they are. He's working class and she's, got this pedigree and this education and this fancy job and life and whatever. And I think he's starting to see, oh my God, like, well, I don't know what to do with this woman.
Well, the other thing too is that she talks about the flowers things, and then he starts to try to talk to her about like feeling anxious or nervous or unsure. He's trying to have like a moment of reflection of like what this whole thing has been like, which is very understanding. Like it's been a week and a half since you met each other and 3 days since you saw each other in person. So he's sort of out loud saying, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling this. And she immediately jumps all over him. I'm like, people are going to say things out loud that, you know, you don't have to react to everything. Sometimes people are just talking. That's it. But she was like all over him and pissed. I was like, God, lady. So I was nervous for them when they got home. So, and then I guess Stephen lost his job. So I guess he left, much like Hannah, left on this thing and said, if I lose my job, I lose my job or whatever it is. And he comes back and then he gets into this whole thing about how all women have this combination that men need to figure out. And every combination is different for every woman. But most women don't know their combinations. I'm like,
I think he was talking about sex.
Okay.
Remember he said something about like,
oh God, they were talking about like anal sex. These two also.
First, she said something like, I like how much attention you pay to my vagina. And then that's when he started talking about the combinations, like it's like trying to figure out how to please her. Yeah, that was all weird. Yeah, and then she said that she would like less butt stabs. So I guess he's with his boner, because we've already heard about his boners, his big constant boners. So I guess he gets a boner and butt stabs her. I don't know why.
I don't know what's happening.
Is it an accident, or is he trying to signal that he wants to have anal sex and he's trying to see how she's going to react to it?
Yeah, I think maybe he is. I think he's poking to see, like,
to see
how does she react to this?
Yes, and I'm just like, this is TMI. I don't need to know. This is
too much. I wrote down, they make me uncomfortable. I'm really uncomfortable. I feel like the acupuncturist. Like,
yes. Yeah, the poor acupuncturist. He was uncomfortable too. They make everyone uncomfortable.
Yes.
I don't know, except maybe the pressed flower girl. She seems like them. Yeah, so that was his way, I guess, of making it up to her, because her producer said, God, we got to do something with this flower situation.
Yeah. But then the real stuff starts. So one thing I've noticed about this season of Love is Blind, and I can't remember if they did this in the past, like normally on these reality shows, if something happens usually they put up like the black screen of like, death of like, what happened, and then give us some context, or we get an interview with someone who describes what happened. But for this and the Ashley Tyler thing, we're kind of like, it's a goddamn mystery over here. It's like, puzzle pieces, putting things together like Memento, like trying to, move stuff around. Like, can't you just tell us what's going on?
Yes.
Please?
Give us a black screen and the scene. We need to know. Okay. Yeah. So she's at the apartment and she's crying. And then Taylor is there.
Yeah, because I think they all live in the same complex.
Building,
yeah, and they're tight.
Yeah, so Taylor's there and she's kind of comforting her. And then Taylor leaves. And okay, bottom line, what I can, what I was able to take away from this was that he supposedly went to a sleep test, to one of those sleep tests. I don't know if he actually did go to that or not, but she found a bunch of text, I guess. How did she find his texts?
I don't know. They didn't explain.
Is she going through his phone? She must have. It's not like he's going to show her. So she found texts where he was texting the night before when he's supposed to be at this sleep test, texting with a woman and talking about what she says is a bunch of gross stuff. She said something about fetishes. And it was just really disgusting, but I don't know. We don't know. What were they talking about? Was it, but who, I don't know.
Yeah. I think he was sexting with someone, basically. some stuff. And then the best is, so he sheepishly comes out and he sits down. She's like, she starts grilling him about this. Like, when were you texting? And you texted last night and texted today and blah, blah, blah. But the best is he said he deleted his texts. I'm like, oh, Stephen, that didn't work for you.
Help anything.
That never helps anybody. You're making it worse. The cover up's worse than the crime.
I want to know how she saw these texts.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very good question, because listen, I'm not condoning the cheating, but that's a big red flag when you have someone who is going through your phone this quickly, going through your phone and going through something. So I don't know, maybe there was something that sort of, like sparked something in her to decide to go look at his phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I think a lot of these men are dumb, and I think maybe he could be in the shower and ding, 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 and she looks down and there it pops up. I have no idea.
Yeah. And I really hope that we get more answers about this. I hope that in future episodes, because then the next episode, there's nothing about them. So I would really like to know more. But remember, if you go back to, at the pool party in Mexico, and I don't know if was it Garrett that he said this to? And
he said it to Taylor.
Oh, to Taylor.
Oh, maybe he did say it to Garrett, because Taylor told Monica. Are you talking about the comment that Stephen made?
Yeah, where he said, now we're on this TV show, people are going to know us, and basically like all these chicks are going to be hitting us up and
sliding into my DMs.
And then he talked about getting his dick sucked or something. I mean, he was already looking, maybe this was his plan all along, was he's just going to go on the show. He didn't think he'd get picked, but he'd get a bunch of attention from
maybe
from women. I don't know. But yeah, he was telling that to Garrett, and I think Garrett told Taylor.
Yeah. And Taylor
and
told
maybe
Monica.
That's what prompted, if Taylor then told Monica, that's what prompted her to be suspicious and start looking at his phone, right?
No, because Monica told her that we see Taylor telling Monica that comment.
When?
That night.
Oh, that same night?
That same night when she's comforting her and she says, I need to tell you something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, I see. Okay.
It's already happened. She already knew about the text messages. Okay. That's not what prompted her.
Okay. Well, anyway, I guess Stephen is not who we thought he was.
Yeah. But, I will say she had a real baller move when she's like, you're going to leave and you're going to pay me the money. Pull out your Venmo right now. Yes. I'm like, good for you, Monica. She's like, I am not going back. I'm not going back and forth with you. You need to Venmo me because I've been covering for you.
Because he lost his job.
Yeah. So then he makes
he'll be back?
I don't know, but he makes this declaration at the end, right? He says, I shouldn't have come on the show. And Monica is pissed. She's like, how dare you? And then Stephen starts to get into this whole thing of like, yeah, I know I don't deserve much, and I'm a, terrible person. I'm like, oh God, Stephen, there's more going on with you here. Like Stephen's got some issues, much more than what. But man, I'm telling you, I think I understand these women a lot more about why they're so anxious about all this stuff, because these guys are good. They really know exactly what to say and how to say it. And don't live up to it.
I'm also not sure if they were the best match. I think that she made him feel very insecure and inadequate, because she obviously, like I said, he's kind of just a simple working class guy, and she is, she's the opposite of that. Like, and she's very snobby, honestly. She's pretty snobby and pretty, has high expectations, and I don't know. And I think he just thought, I can't do this. I can't.
So you think he decided, well, instead of having to break up with her, it's like, I'll just sabotage it.
Maybe. Yeah, because he's stuck. He's on this show. People are expecting. He probably was supposed to meet the parents the next day.
Yeah. Well, she said that weekend they were going to go and meet her father and all of that kind of stuff. So see you later. I mean, they may be on the reunion, but I don't know if we're going to see them again after this. The only time we'll see them is the reunion. Yeah. Unless Monica comes to Taylor and Garrett's wedding.
Yeah. And then I don't know if they would confront each other. We'll see.
All right. Well, let's get to Tyler
Okay,
and
I'm scared.
Ashley.
I'm scared now.
Okay.
Like, this is even worse.
Well, so here's the thing. So I happened to see this on Reddit a couple days before I even watched the episode. And so this was in my head, part of this, of what was going on. So we see the two of them, basically they meet Ashley's father. Ashley's father's great.
Mm-hmm.
Dixon. I love Dixon. He's a great guy.
Very
and, this whole thing. And I love how these Love is Blind producers, they knew what they were doing when they put everything they showed us was for a reason. So we go into this whole thing and he tells the dad, I'm not a cheater. I'm not a liar. Do you want to have kids? Yes, I want to have kids. And every scene, we see them. He talks about his dog, and my dog's my child. And we see them,
they're talking about how many kids they want.
Yeah. Right? I want a boy. You want a girl. What are we going to name? Like everything. And then at the end, we hear, I guess 2 weeks before the wedding, again, we don't see what happens. Tyler tells Ashley that I have 3 kids as a sperm donor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not quite sure, 2 girls and a boy. And this is something that I very rightly so, to knowing just this information to Ashley, I can, right? She's like, you've had many, many opportunities to mention this many times. So, it's alarming that you're telling me now. So what's come out is this.
Okay. So wait, I just want to say that what he told her was that he did it to help some friends.
Mm-hmm.
So these are people he knows, but he said he has no legal obligation because she says, I need to see the paperwork. He's a donor, but it kind of sounds like that maybe he's in their lives because these are friends of his.
Yes. Well, so the baby mama has come out.
Oh, God.
And basically said, so what happened was that apparently like a year ago, once he got on the show a year ago in 2003, 2023, he erases everything on Instagram, on social media of his kids. Like he just gets rid of them completely. So he has 3 kids. I think the oldest is 7 or 8. These are his kids. We see all these photos that the baby mama posts.
Were they together? So he's lying about he was doing a friend a favor?
I mean, that I'm a little unsure, but it seems like that because what we see is him at the hospital with the babies. We see him. One picture I saw of him holding pumpkins at a pumpkin patch with the kids. We see matching pajamas on Christmas Day.
No, he
matching
with that
pajamas.
Woman. That was his girlfriend.
Christmas Day. And apparently he was very involved in their lives. His family was very involved in these kids' lives, as opposed to, and a year ago he just disappeared.
Wow.
And apparently his kids are asking about him now because this is what the ex baby mama is saying. Is that, no, these are his kids. This is real. The other thing that's come out is apparently while he was living with Ashley, like during this time that she confronted him about this sperm donor thing, he was talking to other women, and there's text messages of him like telling some woman he wants to come over to his house, like at 3 a.m. or something like that. Can I come over? I mean, literally, Ashley is right there. So he's cheating on her. The other thing is, on top of that, There's more. Because the other thing is, Tyler, apparently I saw one thing where I guess I saw one thing that he says that he owes this baby mama $30,000 in back child support. That's one thing I saw. I don't know what that is true, but what the Ricky on TikTok was saying was that there was this woman he was dating right up until the time, right before, just like Trevor, right before he leaves to go on Love is Blind. He's talking to this woman. He's dating this woman that he borrowed $10,000 from.
Oh my
and
God.
Only paid her back $2,000. And so you see all of these text messages where you can read them very clearly. She's saying to him like, okay, when do you get paid? And when can you pay me the next payment? And what's happening? And then she makes some offhanded comment about like, God, loaning money to people ruins relationships. And he's just like, he does not address when he's going to pay her. He basically just says, well, no, that isn't what ruins relationships. Lack of communication and this and that ruins relationships. And she's just like, okay, when are you going to pay me? Like she's back to like, when, okay, I'm not going to get into this. Like, when are you going to pay me? He's like, I don't know. I don't have a job. And And I think apparently he told, like, he'd been, and so she has a judgment against him for $8,000.
Wow.
Because he has not paid the rest of this money back. So he is a swindler. People are calling him a Tyler swindler. He is not at all what he seemed. He walked into that experiment being like, I'm going to get married. We're going to get married. We're going to have kids. All of it. And it was all lies. Tyler is a big fat liar.
It's too good to be true.
I know.
Because he was like all this time, just like so sweet. Nothing didn't seem to be any red flags, whatever. And then when it comes out, he doesn't even tell her the truth. Then he says, I was a sperm donor. He makes it sound like it was some anonymous, well, not anonymous, but like doing a friend a favor and has no legal obligation. That's not like you can't get child support if you're not if you're not the father and you don't establish, paternity, and you're not. If you're a sperm donor, you waive, the person usually waives all those rights, whatever. Anyway, this is bad.
Yeah.
Poor
it's
Ashley.
Really bad. Ashley doesn't deserve this shit.
No,
she doesn't. And I mean, it was always right with them. It was a bit unnerving how much it was like half the time when you hear her talk, I'm like, God, I barely know her voice because it's just him
talking about how wonderful everything is. Yeah, I mean, we should have known. Yeah, we should have known.
But so the question then becomes, right, with all of these people and all these men, right, are the producers at all looking at these people's feeds or, looking at the stuff?
But he scrubbed he got rid of all his pictures a year before.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I guess, I don't know. Maybe maybe they're like, listen, we can only check so much. I don't know. I was going to praise the producers and the casting directors of like how well they did. Like by episode 6, I was thinking, God, you really nailed it. Yeah, these people seem to really like each other. And now it's like it's all falling apart. I don't know if anyone's going to get married. Maybe Garrett and Taylor. That's the only couple I could see.
Yeah, I know. Although strangely, I think that that Nick and Hannah,
they might get married.
Yeah. I think they might just learn how to deal with each other. But because Nick isn't doing anything dishonest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they might have their differences or whatever, but yeah, Nick's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd be a great husband.
Yeah. He's a little bit of a braggart. He's a little bit of a whatever, but okay, fine.
That's the worst thing you can find.
Yeah. But once you call him on it, he kind of comes down to earth. So, yeah. All right.
So, wow.
Yeah. So Tyler is not at all what we think. And this is the other thing too, is Tyler, you had to have known this is season 7. If you know the show at all, this is going to come out. And that once this starts to air, you don't think that the mother of these children isn't going to be like, what the what? You think that she's just going to keep her mouth shut? And most likely no.
And then to call himself a sperm donor about talking about his children.
Yeah.
I wonder how she found out, like, when this was filmed. Because,
a lot of this has come out since the show started airing.
No, I know, but when they were filming the show, and we saw the scene, where he has to.
How did she find out about the kids?
How did she find out?
I think he told her. I think he was like, "Oh shit, this thing is happening in 2 weeks. Yeah. I've got to kind of like, I got to get ahead of this. What can I tell her that will?" appease her. So it's still, I don't know about the $30,000. That's just something I saw on Reddit. So that's alleged. None of this is fact checked. So that I don't know, but there's obviously, so I don't know. It's really unclear, but it seems very much like he was the father to these children.
Yeah.
So I don't quite understand how he thinks that he was going to get away with saying that he was a sperm donor.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't going to fix it.
Yeah. What? You're just going to abandon your kids and never see them again because you're just a sperm donor. You don't have any paternal relationship with it. Yeah. What did he think was going to happen going forward?
Yeah. But just all of those conversations about kids, I was like, God, like one conversation after another about kids and like having kids and all of that. It's like, Ashley's right. Like there were so many opportunities for you to talk about this, but now we know he never mentioned it because he was lying about it.
Wow. I got to get on TikTok.
Yeah. You got to
catch up.
Yeah. It is some crazy stuff out there.
I'm stunned.
Yes. Yes. I know. Wow. Don't meet your heroes, people. Don't meet your heroes. Ugh. I hate everybody. I just don't like it. I like Ashley and Dixon. I like those
Ashley.
two.
Oh, God. Dixon must be pissed.
Dixon should go cut his balls off. I think we should sick Vanessa.
Yes.
Sick Vanessa on Tyler.
Let's tell her about this. She'll know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
So I can't even do my predictions of who's going to get married. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. God, this show's good.
I love this show. Can we just have this go year round? I mean, can Netflix just, shell out some more money so we can just have constant production? But see, but now, every good reality show ends up getting spoiled.
Yes.
When, enough time has gone by that, people start to game the system.
Yeah.
And then we get people like Tyler.
Yeah.
I mean, but what is his motivation in doing this? What did he think was going to be positive for him? He had to have known that he was going to eventually, the truth was going to come out. He clearly wanted to hook up with Ashley because he basically acted like he was the perfect person and he loved her to death and everything she did was perfect. And, what is his point? I
don't know. I mean, that's the part, that's a little different than the Steven thing, because the Steven thing is a little bit of, okay, I can see how you maybe incorrectly. This is how maybe you were unsure about all this and feeling insecure or feeling whatever. And then you kind of, start texting someone and sexting someone. Okay, I'm not condoning that behavior, but I can see that. I can see how you can get there. And then, of course, he's embarrassed on television. Mm-hmm. Tyler, what did you think?
Yeah.
This one, you're absolutely right. What did you think was going to happen when you eventually told her about these kids? What did you think was going to happen when people found out? What did you think was going to happen? And then, he's talking, he's got these, some women on, before he's leaving for the show, he's got these women after he's leaving for the show. I think Tyler's someone who just needs female attention. I think he just needs a lot of that attention all the time. And I think he's always thinking, how do I present myself in a way that I'm most desirable? And I think he thought kids wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
but that was premeditated because he erased all those photos. He knew what he was doing. So anyhow. All right. Well, wrap us up. Bring us home.
Wow. Okay. I'm speechless, but
yes.
Okay. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week to see what happens with the
next episodes.
We will cover episodes 10 and 11 next week. So
that's the weddings. And then after that's the reunion.
Yes. No, I think the 12 is the weddings.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they'll start in 11. But the finale is episode 12.
Okay.
Which would be the week after. So the weddings might start next week. I don't know. I feel like we have so far to go to get to a wedding. There's so many issues here.
They drop these episodes and it's sometimes I'm like, God, I can't listen to these people anymore. I need a break. So I don't understand why they can't just do this 2 episodes a week or something.
Or how about 1 a week? Let's stretch it out and have fun with this.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe because the longer the show goes on, the more shit starts to come out about these people.
Maybe.
And they got to hurry up and get it out and, try to maintain some control over it.
Yeah. Because the Tyler stuff I already saw something about that on Reddit on, before these episodes even came out. These episodes came out. Mm-hmm. So it was already. So maybe it's that. I don't know.
Well, okay. Let's come back next week and we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, everyone, for for joining us. And if you haven't already listened to, we have episodes 1 through 6. They're in 2 different episodes. There's 1 and 2, and then 3 through 6. Just look in the feed. And if you want to support our podcast, there's a few ways you can do that. You can subscribe to the podcast. That helps us. You can leave a 5-star rating or review. That helps us. And if you want more content, we have a Patreon. If you go over to patreon.com/psychlegalpop podcast.
Yes.
On Patreon, we have a couple different tiers where you get bonus content. So check that out if you're interested. And we will see you next time.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.